as we chat and all that. And I just saw this, what you see is what you get.
Okay. Okay.
You know, she wasn't creepy, but someone who was genuine, someone who loved God.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
And I was like, no, this, and that mental picture didn't leave me.
How long were you there in the cafe?
Oh, when did I even break the news that it was me? I said she look up, you know.
Oh, so she better memory than
you know. So no, I think like an hour or so. You know, from Temau, I went all the way to La, you know, just to get to know her. But even at that time, she didn't know it was Okai, the musician. No,
okay.
Not at all.
So that day you talked?
We spoke, but briefly.
Okay. Wow. How many years down the line now since you took the steps, since you made a commitment to each other?
Since we got married?
Yes.
Yes.
Married is 12 years,
12
but
years.
on that day, I think so that goes way back 2004, right?
I think so.
Yeah, somewhere 2004.
So that's 15 years. 15 years.
Yeah.
What has your journey been like for you?
I should go first.
No, you didn't. You didn't. Oh, okay. Next time we will have to give you a screen.
So I'd say it's just a journey, like discovery, realizing that God had a plan. I've done some very crazy things in my life. If I say crazy, you know, Uncle Ebo knows I was in Standard Chartered, you know, dropped it to do ministry.
That's right, yes.
It had to take someone that God had prepared for that. I mean, I don't take it for granted at all, because when it got to the point where I had to really step out, she was the one who encouraged me, that's what you said, you know, and it's been such an encouragement. I really don't take it for granted, because not everybody, at least with the experiences I've had with friends, would accept, you know, your desire to go all out for the Lord. So for me, year on year, I just feel that, look, the Lord knew why He brought us together. That's it.
What was your reaction when He came to tell you that I'm leaving this well-paying job and I'm just stepping out into the unknown?
What did I think? So I think I've always known that he would take that step.
Okay.
But I think one thing he did really well was when we were dating, he also didn't pretend. What you saw was what you got. And the sort of training I received whilst we were dating, that's actually helped, you know, in married life. So I knew it was going to come up. So I remember that night I just said, Lord, your will be done.
Okay.
That was it. It wasn't. In fact, if he hadn't taken that step, I probably would have asked him.
Okay.
He said.
Because you said
because
you said
I
this.
knew.
How did he propose?
It was at the shop where I worked. Down the shop, there's a restaurant there.
Okay.
So I think then I was in tech. So he came over. I actually wasn't expecting it. So he came over and we were talking. We had something to eat, and then he was like, I said, what were the words he used? Would you walk with me? Those were the words.
Would you walk with me?
But I understood what he meant to say, so that was it.
Some of you make it very easy for the boys. You know?
Thank you very much.
Would you walk with me and you understood?
Yeah.
Someone says, would you walk with me? What would be your reaction?
Because well, he's a very deep person. So when he's saying, would you walk with me, he's not saying, would you walk with me?
Yes.
Yeah, the way he communicates very deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I
Yeah.
understand him. Yeah.
Oh, brother, you two, will you walk with me?
Well, I've always held the opinion that, you know, what we watch on soap operas and make it so dramatic, but I feel that you should propose before you propose, you know. So though she wasn't expecting on that very day, we had, you know, gone out to the beach, you know, had some
Some conversation.
conversations and all that. And so, would you walk with me as being naked before you, vulnerable before you, that I'm a man on a mission.
Okay.
It's not going to be child's play.
Yeah.
But would you?
Yeah. Would you take the risk?
Would you take the risk of, you know?
Would you bet on me?
Basically.
Well.
But eventually, I had to do what the soap opera people to do. I had to get a ring and, you know, one day taking her home. You want to continue?
No.
You know.
You presented a ring.
Yeah. Just before we get to the alley, you know, I just stopped the car. She was wondering what was happening, and then I stepped out of the car and had to also go on my and present.
In traffic?
Not in traffic.
You
we had
got
we had gotten into the development, okay. So
all right.
She took the ring.
A songwriter's proposal. I'm sure it was poetic.
It is well.
Right. So, 15 years down the line, 12 years as committed. What has the journey been like? How would you describe it? Your life together.
You go first.
Well, I believe she mentioned that during our dating time, there was this principle that I shared with her and she embraced, that we shouldn't run our relationship like any other.
Okay.
We shouldn't let what other people do influence what we do. So I think one of the things that we did very early was, since the proposal day was the 12th of February, there was no Valentine's Day for us. Ours was 12th of February.
Okay.
So since that was our special day, that's when we do anything.
Okay.
We don't join everybody else to do what they are doing on Valentine's Day. So little things like that.
Because you would have done your Valentine on the 12th.
That's it.
2 days ahead of the whole world.
Yeah, and that's unique to us,
Yes.
not because everybody is doing the same thing, you know. So we started living our lives that way, and into marriage, that has been it for us. I traveled for a long time before I got the opportunity to travel with her. You know, it was when we were somewhere in the States that a lot of my friends were like, aha, finally. So not knowing, they were all worried that why don't you travel with your wife? But the issue wasn't about wanting to or not wanting to.
Okay.
It was more about her focusing on her job and I doing ministry, till the point where
you could do it.
We could do it together. You know, so we normally don't. We are not easily moved by what other people are doing. We build our lives the way we believe God wants us to.
Well, it's consistent with what you said, that because you are such a deep person, I'm sure that a lot of things you have a very different way of looking at it. But how has it been being married to him? He's in the public eye. He's a darling of all these Krife and non-Krife girls.
Yes.
You know, he makes them worship, and half of them, as they wave their hand in the air, they are also looking at him. And he has this white jacket he puts on.
And his smile.
And his smile. How has it been being married to him?
I think I mentioned it in passing earlier that I went to a lot of probably training before we eventually got married. So I understood certain things very early. I remember once I was on campus, he came over to campus and we were actually having a chat, and then choir people came around, so he had to go. I remember I asked one of his friends, Blondell, is this how it's always going to be? You know, I remember I asked that question. It's like, yeah, well, that's a man, that's him. You know, that's what God has called him to. He's going to be yours, but he also has a responsibility and a calling to other people. Okay. So I think I learned I learned that very early. And I still remember one sermon I heard back on campus about making, and I share this with young ladies, when I speak to them, that your husband or your wife is it's the most important person to you. But the one who should really be the center of your life is God. When God is the center of your life, everything else revolves around that. So it's not really a problem, And he said you can trust him, maybe.
That's a good thing to say.
Yeah, you can trust him. So
is he romantic?
Are you romantic? Oh, sorry. Okay. I think so. The few times that are you romantic? I'm not sure. I don't know.
What's the craziest thing you've done for love for her?
Craziest thing.
Or one of them.
Craziest thing.
I should have told that you asked this question because I heard it.
You heard it. Surprises, right? I think it's pretty much this is our 10th anniversary.
Maybe. Because I'm not too sure.
Yeah. For me, I'm having a difficulty with the word crazy.
Plus, I don't really like surprises too much. I like to know.
You don't like surprises?
No. I don't really like.
So you don't surprise? You don't surprise anyone?
Hardly. I like to know.
And then you'll be surprised.
Yeah, maybe not be surprised. But
So
I don't like to. I like
your
to
birthday
know
is coming. Your birthday is coming.
Yeah.
So you would like him to tell you exactly what he wants to do.
Yes.
Then when he does it, you go. Oh, I didn't know.
No, I won't do. When he tells me what it is, I'm like, okay, it will be cool, or I think you should change it. Like I like to know.
Okay. Okay.
Some people like surprises, but I don't like surprises. I like to know beforehand.
Is marriage for a man like you, public eye celebrity, different from the ordinary man on the street?
I think it's a yes and no.
Okay.
It's not different because you face the same issues. No, because so different. The yes that is different is that there's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of expectation. I mean, the whole church will have a heartbreak if things don't go well. So there's a lot of expectation. But in terms of the real issues you face, it's same for everybody.
Because bottom line, you are two human beings.
You are two human beings. It's the same for everybody. So I think if you learn to shift your focus from the people to your spouse, then you'll be able to, handle the issues better. Because it's between two people. But if you're focusing on the public image, the public eye, then you might be living a lie. You might be, pretending, and that could be an issue. So I'd rather focus most of the time on us as individuals, or as a couple, and then with the children and all that. It's, for me, that's how I look at marriage, us. And I have a unique relationship with everybody, with her, with every one of the kids, with my ministry friends.
How many of them, man?
There are 3 by God's grace. We have 2 girls and then a boy.
Ages?
So it's 10, 8, 6. I think
10, 8, and 6.
Or David is going to.
7.
Oh, they've gone to 11, 9, 7.
He knows it's just 11. He actually knows it's just 11. When you get the first one right, you just subtract 2. So when you got the first one,
so the day,
yeah.
The way the birthdays are spread, the day is January.
Yeah.
Coco is December, and David is August. So always the first one jumps, and then you have to do the
calculation.
But don't forgive me for taking 1 year of their ages.
All right. Which of you is a straight parent?
I am, I think.
Really?
He pampers the girls too much. Yeah.
But the girls will tell you she pampers the boy.
Yeah, well,
So,
they say that.
Yeah.
I think it's about various aspects of parenting. You know, there are aspects that I'm strict about, and the aspect that I'm laissez-faire about.
Okay.
The aspect that she's strict about, and there are aspects that she doesn't consider important. So I think we share. We share the roles.
Yeah.
You know.
As a couple, have you faced a dark moment, a moment in your relationship where things looked so dark and so bad that you wondered, God, where are you?
Honestly, I don't think so. That's why I said I've heard interesting stories, but
Yeah.
we don't seem to have that kind of a story. So
No, for me that is not a negative, because
Okay.
every day living is an adventure, isn't it?
it is.
And every day the challenge of honoring God, whether you have an interesting story or not, life itself is interesting.
Yeah.
And chatting with the two of you it's been fun. It's been fun.
Yeah, I won't call it a dark moment. I would say Ya is very understanding. So when she comes up with an issue, as a man, it destabilizes you, because she's so understanding that you wouldn't expect that she would have had an issue. You know, but then it makes you wake up and not take that
for
thing
granted.
for granted
That's
anymore.
right, yes.
So she's been such a support, because she doesn't think about third parties. She thinks about the two of us. So all these issues have been about the two of us. You know, no, this one. But it just gets you from left field, because she's so understanding, you might take her for granted.
Yeah.
You know, so when she picks her phone and she starts communicating,
Oh, you still communicate like you used
yeah,
to?
when she wants to, you know, communicate, so she'll pick her phone and then send it, you know, and then
No,
when
she told us that she does better.
Oh, yeah.
I communicate better when I write.
Yeah.
you know, so when as soon as I get that text message, I know that there's an issue. We have to address
And
it.
then you make time to talk it.
Yeah, we have to. We have to address it essentially, you know. And I thank God, because it's because trust was built right from the scratch, you know. I had a lot of. I never really. I think I went out once, you know. It lasted 3 months or so, but I had a lot of ladies in my life.
Is she watching? So I can give a shout out to her.
I had a lot of ladies in my life. No, it was so short-lived that, you know, a year on, 2 years on, when I introduced her, they think it's that one. You know, like,
okay.
So, but though I had a lot of ladies in my life, I always was clear about my intentions.
Let's clean that up. Though you had a lot of ladies around you.
Well, yes.
Yeah, because
Essentially,
they were not in your life. They were,
I get
they
you.
were
I get
around
you. I
you.
get you. Around me.
Ya came
know.
and you admitted Ya into your life.
True.
The others,
Point of correction.
Thank you.
You came there. Let's
Yes. So I meanwhile, she came in very, how do I put it? She hadn't
really
had any person before, you know, getting close and all that, and so I had to be sensitive about that.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one of the things that she had an issue with was the way my ladies were clingy. You know, they're always hugging. You know,
where I was coming from.
yeah, it's like
Hugging
no.
it's intimate.
You know, but our ladies, you know,
It was
prefer
a
ladies,
normal.
they'll always hug and all. So with time, you had to be sensitive to her feelings also, and grow with her, and that's been that for us.
I like the way you're talking about you have to be sensitive to her because she was new at this. You yourself, you were green. I mean, 3 months under your belt, I mean, that does not count. So, but the two of you have no idea how blessed you are that you can say some of the things you've said. One, that she can say that there was trust right from the beginning. That you can say of her that she's so understanding that sometimes if there's an issue she raises, you think, oh, it's like a wake-up call. Not many couples can say that, you know, about each other. Not too many wives can say, I trust my husband, and know that there will be nothing to regret about it, you know. And not too many husbands can say, my wife is so understanding, that when she has an issue, you have to say, oh, really? You know, it wakes you up. Some people are dealing with some of these crises every day. And marriages like you are blessed. And I thank God that we get to celebrate a relationship like this. Because we hosted a couple and we asked them, what has been some of your difficult times? And the guy said, you know, when we hear our friends talking about difficult times, I get surprised. Because my home, our home, we are cool. It's everything. And I said, well, that's got a blessing. Trace your journey as a husband. I'm sure you've had to grow as a man into being a husband.
Yeah.
Share with us some of the experiences of growing from an independent man to now realizing, no, I'm a husband now. I have somebody in my life that I have to consider in my decision.
Okay, so I grew up as a firstborn son who very loved by the mother.
Okay, pampered by the mother.
Well, you know, so you would expect that when you get into a marriage, there are things you carry into the marriage because your mother would have done for you.
Okay.
And things like that. And year on year, I had to learn how to wake up from some of those realities and be more supportive.
Okay.
You get. So it's been a journey of discovery for me. But having said that, you know, our parents have been very supportive.
Okay, both sets.
I'm telling you, extremely supportive. You know, they make us look good on camera because they support us backstage with our kids, with, you know, when I have to travel, you know, she's there alone.
Okay.
And we've had support from friends, from parents and all that. But I would say as a man, I learned how to really, it's not that I depend on my mom for decisions or anything, but we are that close also.
Still.
Yeah. You know, we are that close. I mean, we live not too far apart. My kids' school where she's headmistress.
Okay.
Yeah,
You,
homeschooled. I always say
you
they're
know,
homeschooled.
and all that. And so she's very much a part of our lives.
Okay.
And we've had to learn to accommodate where she fits and then where we have to take care of things ourselves.
Okay.
You know, and she's been a great help with that. Those are some of the wake-up calls I talk I talk about.
No, I understand that.
Because you will think that, oh, but we are getting support.
Yeah, but draw the line.
So
Draw
some
the
of
line.
these things help for you to, you know, manage your role better.
Okay.
You know, and when you do that, sometimes then they are like, oh wow, we didn't know you could help so much, you know, and that kind of a thing. But it's all part of the growing process as a husband.
Okay. You've done well being married to a mama, ban.
I think maybe I learned fast, but
Okay.
one of the things which I share with people as well is that when you begin to see your mother-in-law as a mother as well, because some of the things that she will do, my mom will probably do worse.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you're seeing her as a mother, then there's no issue. I remember when we got married early on, we were home once, and then grandma came home with a basket of food. I'm like, is she thinking I can't cook for the husband, for the son, you know? But actually, later on, started thinking, let me enjoy this. So I started enjoying it. She bring the food, we all eat, and I've been enjoying it till now. Yeah. I mean, I just received it and enjoyed it. So it's
Your own journey as a wife.
so I've learned quite a bit. how to be a wife, how to be supportive of your husband, how to manage a home. So I grew up with a mother who was very hands-on. She was doing everything, almost by herself. She didn't really need you to do anything.
Okay.
So suddenly you're in the home by yourself. You have to learn to feed the man. I remember, I used to, some of the stuff I used to cook back on campus. When we started, I'll cook for him once, twice. Third time, it's like, oh, can we change this?
Okay.
Like spaghetti and stuff. He didn't really want that. So I've learned, to be a wife, to support him. And, yeah.
How has that been?
Oh, it's been okay.
Okay.
It's been okay.
Mm.
It's been cool.
I eat everything she cooks. She doesn't eat everything I cook.
She cooked once. He cooked once.
Yes.
I remember very early on, he cooked some stew. I tasted it, I'm like, oh my God, this is not nice. And I regretted saying that because then for a long while he didn't try anymore. But these days he tries. So. But I learned, to appreciate it. I should have.
Yeah.
Just said, oh, well done, then he would have continued. But I think my reaction wasn't too good. But these days, yeah, he's doing fantastic.
Does he sing at home?
That's the thing, oh. I live with this man now. I don't hear him singing at home often, and even writing. Whenever I hear a new song, I'm like, when did you write this song? I live in this house with you. I never see you writing a song.
Okay.
So yeah, he doesn't. I probably bring work home, but he doesn't really. I sing more at home than he does.
I don't take work home.
I sing more at home.
So you don't sing at home?
No, that's for morning devotion, with the
singing
kids.
with the kids. Yeah.
I don't take work home. Because I consider singing work.
He's always saying that.
So it is family worship, fine, but I don't take work home.
Okay. Well, that is interesting. Abizi, do we have some questions?
Not yet.
All right. So would there's a question that our viewers love to ask: finances. How have you coped as a couple with money?
So I know most people keep joint accounts, but we've never really had a joint account. If something has to be done, whoever is there around that time, that's it.
Okay.
Okay. If there has to be a project, we agree on how we are going to fund the project. His wallet, I can go into his wallet at any time. So it's not a problem. If I need to buy something, I just take money from his wallet. So it's not really. So that's how we manage our finances. As usual, my money is my money, his money is our money.
Oh, really?
Well, at least that is honest. Honest admission. No, almost all ladies apply that principle. Very few will admit it. That my money is my money, but your money is our money.
Yeah, but with projects and stuff, we agree how we're going to do it, and then we fund it.
If you have to do this all over, is there anything you would do different? The whole journey to this point. Is there any things along the line that you think would have changed that, would have done this differently?
I won't put it on maybe something we did intentionally. When we started, she was just fresh from school, and I had worked for a while. I was then in Gapoha before I joined Stanchart and all that. And so I had the money, you get it, when we started. Now, when I left the bank, the scale tilted, you know, so she had the money. And I realized, how very industrious she is, and how, if she had the money from the beginning, we probably would have done a lot more quickly.
She manages money better.
I think so. I'm not, I don't spend a lot, but she is the one who takes risks. I think we need a new car. I think we need to do this and that kind of thing. I can live a very simple life, and I'm fine. But she's the one who pushes, no, I think we should get this. I think we should do this. And then we manage, and then and I later realized that, why didn't I think about this earlier? You get it? So when the scales tilted, I realized that, things were moving, and people see me, they're like, oh, since you left the bank, it's like you are now, you know. But
looking good.
it's because, you know, now the one, though it's her money, she is thinking about the whole family, pushing, you know, no, I think we can do this, I think we can do it. And it's been a blessing. So if we had to start all over, you know, and I had the money, I would have given it to her.
Okay.
To take those decisions and all that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, a good wife who can find. Do you attend his functions? When he's singing, performing?
Yeah, I go for. Before the kids came, I was actually managing his schedule. So I was booking his programs for him and all of that.
Okay.
So I've been a bit slow.
But when the kids came, I sagged there.
Yeah, he sagged me as manager.
Okay.
But I'm still manager at a different level.
At a different level.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I actually attend quite a number of his programs.
How does it feel watching him perform?
I've been asked this question a number of times. How do I feel? He's a minister of God, ministering the word of God. It's as simple as.
Do you at a certain time when you see the girls all fired up by him go, yeah, that's my husband?
That's the funny thing. Not really.
Not really. Okay. Okay.
Not really.
But you know you are taking him home.
Oh yeah. So I don't have any issues. In fact, sometimes I will encourage him to speak to people. Maybe I'm, but it's okay.
Yeah,
it's his job.
Yeah.
He's been called to do this. I know he loves me. I know the Lord loves me even more. So.
Which of his songs is your favorite?
So I love Mokobe, of course. I love Kwemo Boni Osumo Wanubago Hawa. Kwemo. It's one of the songs on the albums. I love Makpasale.
Okay.
Yeah, I love all his songs actually.
Okay.
Yeah, because every song has a message. Okay, that has to go.
Are the children singing?
Yeah, they are singing. They are singing.
Any of them likely to follow you?
The second one probably.
It appears so.
You know,
Okay.
she gets it
Without even
annoyingly naturally.
Yeah.
No, she knows she's good. That's the sad part. You know.
That's a 9-year-old.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a 9-year-old.
Yeah. And she's not only good musically, the whole creative spectrum.
Yeah.
So it's a problem. I have my eyes on her.
It's interesting.
You
The
know.
first girl looks very much like me, but internally she's more like me. She's
Okay.
the reading person, and the second girl who looks a bit more like me is more like me
That's right.
creatively. Yeah. And the boy is a mix. It's a fine
Yeah.
mix. Yeah.
He wouldn't enjoy you saying that. But he's a boy, I'm sure he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
When you travel without her, you miss her?
I do.
So how do you stay in touch?
I think we sometimes even talk more
When he's away.
when I'm away than when I'm at home.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. So once I get to either into the hotel room or then I'll call. But most of the time she's also taking care of the kids. So when she's done, then we chat. You know.
All I need to hear is that I have some filler for you. I can't sleep. I need a filler.
Okay.
Yeah, she likes filler. You know.
And of course, when you travel, I'm sure there's always filler.
Well, there's always filler, but I'm not very
Yeah.
good at giving her the juicy details she wants. Yeah, so she finds that out for herself most of the time.
Yeah. I find out for myself.
No, it's because men are not good at bossing, at dinkomo.
Adjusting, yeah.
No, we are not. I tell people that when I go home and Florence asks me, how was the day? And I say, fine. That's a very comprehensive and exhaustive and full answer. Fine. But of course, for a woman, that would be very, very
Because
different.
someone has a baby and you ask, boy or girl?
No, sometimes we haven't even asked. No, he has a baby. We just said he has delivered.
Yes, like that is very, very important.
And then, how does the baby weigh? No,
Yeah,
the baby
all
is
that.
alive. I mean, that is Wow, no, it's been fun having you. if you have to counsel a young person getting ready to be married, what would you say?
Don't follow the status quo. Don't look at what other people appear to be doing and think that that's the way to go. The current status quo is to take a lot of funny pictures, pre-wedding photos, and so that the whole idea is the wedding. They don't plan for the marriage, you know. And when I get opportunity, I tell them that, look, marriage is a journey, but it's a unique journey for a couple.
For the two of you.
For the two of you. So learn to start solving your issues during the courtship period. You know, just make that conscious effort to work. Don't say when we get married, things will change. Because a lot of people get there and then they are disillusioned. They thought they had something that they are going to reveal to the other person, only to realize that the person also has something to reveal, and then it's an issue. So I'm like, no, get to and I tell a lot of people, don't be secretive, don't hide things, and then surprise your parents or elders. I'm ready, I want to get married.
Okay.
And then when they start asking questions, they become the bad people. But right from the start, open up. Let them know who the person may be. A rough diamond, but because they know, they can help you manage the courtship better, and then you get a better marriage out of it.
Okay.
You know, so it's about information, communication, and then expectations. Manage your expectations. Don't. People want to replicate what they saw in their parents' home within the first 2, 3, 4 years of marriage, and it's a problem because you didn't come to meet that. For some of you, like you, when you were born,
you don't remember it.
No,
you were not there.
You know, so just manage.
Yeah, this whole idea of pre-marriage, is it pre-wedding photo shoot? Where does it come from?
I honestly don't know. I just saw it recently on Facebook, social media. I'm not too sure where it's coming from. I'm not too sure.
Oh, by the way, do you remember the first time you met her parents?
Yes, there's a story to that.
All right, okay, let's hear the story.
Yeah, so she grew up in La, you know, amongst my people.
Yeah.
I grew up in Tema, very, very different type of a Ghana person, you know, and I don't know what my people did to them in La, but some way, somehow there was a bit of trepidation, you know, letting the parents know that this is a Ghana man coming to the family. They are from Ibri,
okay,
but they lived all their life in La.
Gentle.
Yeah. So she was overly cautious. She didn't want the first meeting to be, you know. But I also felt that no, I can't continue to see someone's daughter, you know, back door, you know, that kind of a thing. So one day after work, I called her and I said, I'm in your neighborhood. I'm coming home.
You haven't?
No, because she always would come. She would come to Tema. She would take the risk and come. I'm like, no, I have to. So they were not ready for me, but I got there.
And how did it go?
So growing up, my dad was maybe a bit strict. So for all of us in the house, nobody had even discussed like relationships and marriage. We all, you know, everybody was studying hard to make something out of their lives.
Okay.
So relationships, how was I even going to start
the discussion?
The discussion. So I think that was part of the reason why I was managing his coming. But he was good, he came. So that day I saw my dad, we were scared of, and he actually received him, and I don't know, I'm like, oh, okay, it's good he came. This wasn't for me to handle. It was good he handled it.
Yeah. So it started a conversation, and
what did you tell her father?
Oh, he asked who I was. Said, I'm Okai. Where do I work? Standard Chartered. Standard Chartered did well for me. I'm sure if I had said musician. You know, so yeah. But he realized also throughout, we did some pretty crazy stuff. I think we changed numbers,
Yeah, we swapped.
we swapped phones. You know, I think that's where the trust even began from. You know.
So you were holding his phone?
No, SIMs actually, SIM cards. Like, so now the number she uses was the number my first space phone number.
So
Why did you do that? I don't remember.
some of the old fans who want to reach you will call and she will pick.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any questions? Abizi, let's go.
First question. Do you quarrel often? And have you ever thought of divorce?
Not at all. Divorce is not in our dictionary.
I think one of the first things
Yeah.
we said before that divorce is not an option.
Okay.
So, but we've not really gotten to a point where we'll say we'll actually think about it. Not really. So I think for me, at some point I was really worried because when you go for marriage marriage workshops and stuff, it's assumed that like for a healthy relationship you have to be quarreling.
Yeah.
But we really haven't.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is also fine. It's good. Yes.
Uncle, please, when should a woman have an understanding? When should a woman be understanding for her husband? Is it when he's transparent in all things, or it doesn't matter? She has to just trust and understand all this.
If you marry him and you haven't decided to trust him, then you've just made a mistake. It should be part of your decision. Your decision to marry him must include the fact that I trust him. If you don't trust him, why are you marrying him? Then you are doing yourself a great injustice and disservice. Yeah, go on. Let's go.
Uncle Lee, how do you give her attention when you also have to be on social media to communicate with others?
Well, when it comes to social media, my wife gets the first attention, really. Because that's where we met and we communicate very well on social media.
They still do?
Yeah, we do.
My kids actually say that, so my girls, I call them drama queens.
Okay.
So I say DQ1, DQ2, and they've named us PK1 and PK2. Phone, it's like we are phone queen and phone king.
Okay.
Yeah, so for social media, I don't have issues at all. I mean, when it comes to, in fact, sometimes I think she's even more open when it comes to social media than I am. You
not believe the picture that is coming through my mind, that the two of you are lying in bed and then one picks the phone and says, "How about tonight?" And the other one says, "Yeah, let's take the next question."
Uncle, actually, we have a message, a special message for Ephraim. Can we play it, please?
Okay, read it.
It's actually going to be played. I think it's a video.
Oh, it's going to be played. Okay, please let it roll.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you, everyone?
How are you, everyone?
How are you, Uncle?
Uncle.
We hope you are all doing well. It's okay, the two of you keep quiet. Kobe, today is your birthday.
Okay.
Myself and your two sons, we want to wish you a happy birthday. So, Vicarious and little Ephraim, say happy birthday to Daddy.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Kobe, happy birthday. We wish you the best of the day. The grace of the Lord be upon you. You are blessed. You are blessed. You are blessed. I said it 3 times because you are more than blessed. The grace of the Lord is greater than any other blessing. We want to wish you a happy birthday. We hope you enjoy the day. We hope you had fun. We wish you all the best in everything you do, in your endeavors. May the grace of the Lord be upon you. May His favor shine upon you. You will move beyond knowledge. No weapon that goes against you will ever prosper. We love you. You are daddy. You are my husband. You are a friend.
Good morning, Mr. Uku. Today being your special day, we, the ladies of virtue and excellency, want to wish you a very happy birthday, God's blessings, and long life. We wish the will of God to be established in your life.
Amen.
Tina, you always score points. You always score wonderful points.
Why are you hiding?
Ephraim, give Ephraim a mic. Ephraim.
Why are you hiding? Respond.
Your wife said some very wonderful things about you. So we regard that as her proposing the toast. So respond to the toast.
Michael, funny enough, at the place, I can't hear anything. It is true. I wasn't hearing it.
All right.
Because it's not passing through my system.
Your wife said you are blessed. They are blessed to have you. They are wishing you the best. And they love you and all that. So, and what do you say to that? And don't say thank you. What do you say?
Okay, you know that I'm not a camera guy.
No, I know. Yeah.
Very shy.
Yeah.
You know, that's not my thing.
Are you aware that being shy, you are dragging this encounter?
Oh no, I'm not shy again. So, but I know where you can end up. So it's okay. Let me say my own. Okay, so thank you so much. And this surprise is becoming too much because on her birthday,
yes,
she surprised me.
Yes.
How can that be?
Yes.
Then now on my birthday too, it's too much.
Yeah.
Tina, you know already. The love is thick. The love is thick. So don't mind the champers at the back. You know already. So when I come home, we'll talk the rest.
So end it well. End it well.
So Tina, baby, you know I love you too.
Ephraim, no, you are wonderful, and I'm happy. I'm happy for your life. I thank God for your life. I thank God for the kind of relationship you and Tina are building. Happy to find that your children are singing better than you. No, they were singing better than you.
Oh, Michael, the Bible says make a joyful noise. I do noise. You do the melody.
So, happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
We love you here.
I know very well.
Okay, all right. Okay then. All right, get off my set.
Thank you.
But I have a special request on your behalf. Okai was saying one of my favorite hymns for you, Captain of Israel's Host. Before Okai sings, I'd like to make a statement here. Sometimes those of us who have been blessed, those of us who have been spared by God, are made to feel bad that we don't have issues. This is what a normal relationship should be. This is what a normal love relationship, marriage should be. It should be two people who love each other and decide, I want to enrich my life and your life by making the best contribution I can in your life. And then they get together and the trust is there, the commitment is there, and they continue to build and grow this. This is what it should be. the drama we are creating in our relationships, they are not the normal relationships. Relationships in which you can't speak with respect to each other. And every day there's an issue. Every other day somebody has to come in and call one of you or the two of you. That is not a normal relationship. And if you are watching us and you're a Christian couple, aspire to this. Aspire to a relationship where there's so much understanding that there's no drama. Because life outside there is dramatic enough. At home, it should be the place where you come to relax. It should be the place where you come to be refreshed. It should be the place where you come to find yourself, so you can be energized and go back out there again. And I thank God for giving us this couple, this model. This is what it should be. And Ni, thank you for giving it to us. Thank you for loving this mama's boy. And Ni, thank you for representing what a true Christian ought to be. You live in it, and it's wonderful. You are not just ministering, but you are what you minister. And your testimony, your wife has just testified about you, and I am so proud of you.
We thank God. And we thank God for you, putting the right models out there, because as young pastors, that's what we do, encourage people. And so to have this platform dedicated to this, we want to say, God bless you too.
All right, then there's another way you can thank me.
Captain,
do the song, Captain of Israel's Hosts, and this is dedicated to Ephraim. You are blessed.
Yeah. He's still sweating. Okay. Captain of Israel's hosts and guide of all who seek the land above, beneath thy shadow we abide, the cloud of thine protecting love, our strength, thy grace, our rule, thy word, our way, the glory of the Lord, our strength, thy grace, our rule, thy word, our end, the glory of the Lord. And by thine unerring spirit led, we shall not in the desert stray, we shall not full direction need nor miss our providential way, for as far from danger as from fear, while love almighty love is near, our strength, thy grace, our rule, thy word, our end, the glory of the Lord.
When I hear singing like that, I ask God, so if you had given me a voice like that too, what would have happened? And with that, I'd like to thank Mr. and Mrs. Okai, for joining us. We've enjoyed you. Yeah, you're a fantastic woman. And Ni, your testimony is clear, and I thank God for your life. I'd like to thank my team for the good work they put in. I'd like to thank Ephraim for joining us on his birthday. At a certain point, we weren't too sure whether he'll be able to come, but he's been here, and we are grateful. And to you, who make the investment of time and data to stay with us, you honor us with your presence. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. We'll see you soon. Hello. They call me